Hey guys, it's Liv here, and in today's video, we're going to be using an updated version of our Indeedee, of our Lilycole Sun Team. This is something that a lot of people have been asking on this video on the first video I should say, what do I replace Fluttermane with now? Well, in today's video, I think I might have found the answer looking at a few different Sun teams, a few different Lilycole teams, and I finally found something that I think I personally like. If you enjoy this video and you want to see more, leave a like and subscribe, and I'm going to link a bunch of the teams I sourced for different sets and different ideas down below. I did do some tweaking from there, but I figured may as well give credit in case you'd like a different version better, and I might cover a different version in a later date, because I love playing Lilycole. But with that said, let's get right into it. First up, though, we do have Torkoal. This is just a standard Torkoal. Basically, on any Lilycole team, you will find this Torkoal. It's Solar Beam, Protect, Heatwave, Interruption. This is designed to function with Lilycole, with basically Lilligant clicking after you, and then Torkoal going for really fast eruptions, or if you're really low on health, Heatwave. This is also designed so that in Trick Room, you are the slowest Pokemon on the field, or one of the slowest ones, at least for viable Pokemon Go. And you could pair this with different Trick Room setters and get off some really good damage with Eruption and just completely destroy opponents, since very few teams that have actual counterplay can still actually take a Terrestrial Fire set from Torkoal. Since basically with Terrestrial Fire, you're going to boost your Eruption even further, and with Torkoal, you're boosting even further, the Sun's boosting even further. You can throw on a Helping Hand Mon like Lilligant and boost it even further. So basically the point is you're going to do gross damage with everything on Torkoal. Up next, we do have Lilligant. This is a Focus Sash set with Sleep Powder, Leaf Storm, Helping Hand, and After You. Just designed to be as fast as possible so we can, as quickly as possible, go for After Yous to make Torkoal go faster. Since After You is not a priority move, actually, it is based on your speed tier, which is why we typically pair Lilligant on a Sun team, and we pair it with Torkoal as the option offensively. But Lilligant, though, on this team would just be a support piece for Torkoal, and it gives us a fast route because otherwise Trick Room is fairly predictable in terms of the counterplay. But teams do need to actually respect Lilligant, because if they predict too heavily on Trick Room coming, and you go with Lilligant plus Torkoal, then they have no actual counterplay for that, and they're going to get kind of screwed. Up next, we do have Hariyama. This is a Terrestrial Dark set with Fake Out, Close Combat, Knockoff, and Detect. I did find this actually on one different Sun team that I found that was running like Dragapult, if I remember correctly. I think that was the Sun team that this one had. But basically though, this team in particular, this was actually a Kingambit team, which I might try that one in the future as well. But this team basically though had Hariyama, and it's a decent Trick Room option. It's great at KOing things such as Hydreigon, for example, which would actually be a huge counter to this team otherwise. With the Terrestrial Dark as well, we're able to resist Dark type attacks, as well as making sure that we're immune to Psychic, which is really valuable since Hariyama is a fighting type. We also do boost to Knockoff further, which is really good, especially when it's considered that Hariyama will probably be dealing with a lot of Psychics in Trick Room. And with the speed tier, actually, you might be wondering, why 12 speed? We're a Trick Room Pokemon. Well, with 12 speed and Adamant Nature, we actually do Speed Tie against Armarouge, which is really valuable, and specifically Armarouge in Trick Room. So we can make sure that it's at least a 50-50, whether Trick Room goes up or it's down, that we can get a knockoff against Armarouge and just completely massacre that. And with our Flame Orb plus Guts, we're able to do some incredible damage. This is also great for getting around Spore, which is littering the team right now. Up next, we do have Oranguru with the Safety Goggles. Safety Goggles Oranguru is able to get around stuff like Spore, as well as other different weathers, and even Rage Powder potentially, depending on what we go for, which could be valuable, I guess, for random Instruct shit. With Inner Focus as well, we can't get stuff like Taunted, or not Taunted, Fake Outed, as well as, I guess we're immune to Intimidate, which doesn't really matter here. We have a Terrestrial Dark set, which should be good against Praxer Dark Pokemon, and this does essentially help guarantee that we're going to get a Trick Room up. So sometimes bringing the Terrestrial on Oranguru is actually really worthwhile, because ultimately, you will do more damage by going for Protect on Torkoal turn 1 and going for Terrestrial Dark on Oranguru, getting up your Trick Room, and then making sure you're clicking Instruct twice at a full health Torkoal, than you would by just letting Oranguru go down, but then clicking Instruct, not Instruct, but Terrestrial Fire Eruption after having potentially already taken damage on Torkoal. So this Pokemon is basically just the ultimate Eruption spammer. Up next, we do have Armarouge with the Clear Amulet. You might be wondering why Clear Amulet, because this is typically run for Intimidate options, but it's actually more so for Snarl, because Armarouge would otherwise have a pretty big issue with stuff like Snarl Arcanine here. But with this set, we're basically just designed to click Stabs, with the Expanding Force being great for Indeedee, which, spoilers, is our last mon. With the Quiet Nature and Zero Speed IV, we're able to underpace a good amount of Pokemon in Trick Room. However, again, as I mentioned, we do tie opposing Armarouge that might go for this similar strat with our Hariyama. With this set, basically, though, it's just a really good breaker. We have Torkoal as well to boost the Armor Cannon damage, which should make this into a phenomenal breaker, both for spread moves as well as for single targets. Final mon on the team we have is Indeedee with the Psychic Seed. This is just standard support Indeedee with Protect, Follow Me, Helping Hand, and Dazzling Gleam. Our max of his def solely just because of the fact we have Psychic Seed boosting, and I didn't really know of what better stuff to calc for. Since a lot of sets I saw had like 244 HP, and I didn't really think that the difference in Force but F was really going to make a huge difference. Well, Force Special Attack was going to make a huge difference for anything. But we're Terrestrial Fairy here just to try and take on stuff like, I guess, Hydreigon a bit easier, which would otherwise massacre us. And Dazzling Gleam, of course, can get boosted further by that with Follow Me, which should enable Armarouge as well as Oranguru to get Trick Room easier. And Helping Hand will help boost the damage output from Armarouge as well as Torkoal. With that said, that's our team. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and let's get right into the battles. Peace out, guys. Hey guys, we're here today trying like our 4th attempt at recording this because I've had so many recording issues with OBS today. We're going to be taking on the Battle Spot ladder with Lilycole. I revised the team. I think it's going to be good. Let's hope that this recording works. I don't care if we go 0-3. We're like 3-6 for the day, to put it in perspective. With an 0-3, 3-0, and an 0-3. I just want to I don't care if we go 0-3. I just want a good recording. But hopefully you guys enjoy. We're taking on Dondozo, Arcanine, Goldango, Sylveon, Tatsugiri, Pink. And then we have Meowscarada. Okay. So as far as the lead goes, I played a lot of Dozogiri in general, not necessarily with this team, but typically with this specific set of 6, I've been seeing a lot of teams typically lead off with like Sylveon, Tatsugiri. Oh no, it's either Sylveon, Tatsugiri, Sylveon, Dondozo, or like Arcanine with one of those two. As far as my lead goes, I kind of want to lead off with, I feel like leading off with Armarouge and Indeedee is a pretty decent shout, because I can Follow Me on the Dondozo turn and just go for Expanding Force with Terrestrial and be fine. I think that, or even just go for Trick Room, and I have Oranguru to Instruct in the back, which should be pretty decent. And I think Final Mon will probably be Torkoal, because Torkoal should be really good against everything not named Dondozo. Well, no. I'm going to bench Torkoal. I'm going to go for Hariyama. I think it'll be a little bit better. It still hits stuff like, for example, Terrestrial Steel on Dondozo well, but it's also good for a lot of other Mons. Like, for example, it's good for Goldango, especially with Terrestrial Tark, if I go that route. Since I don't necessarily have to lead Terrestrial Armarouge, and especially I've seen a lot of teams like this run Bandit Arcanine, and I think objectively going for a Terrestrial might hurt me there. They're gonna go for Sylveon Meowscarada here, so I definitely am gonna go for the Trick Room. I'm not gonna go for Terrestrial just yet, because ultimately I want to make sure that I'm not taking any sort of super effective damage. Well, not super effective. I'm not taking more damage than I have to be from Sylveon Hyper Voice if it goes for it. So we're gonna proceed to go for the Trick Room here. And I'm going to go for the Follow Me. Follow Me should be really good, if nothing else, at enabling a Trick Room turn to get up. And from here, I could probably just go for Armor... probably... I don't know, it depends. If this is probably going to be some sort of Armor Cannon set... Not Armor Cannon, Overgrowth set. They're actually going to switch anyway. They're going to bring in the Arcanine. Okay. This means they didn't bring Dozogiri. That means their last one's probably Goldango. Or maybe they just brought Raw Dondozo. I'm not really sure. We're going to proceed to go for Follow Me this turn. Meanwhile, Sylveon, if I had, I guess we'll go for Yawn or Hyper Voice. One of the two. Either one works. Hyper Voice, that's fine. It should do no damage to Armarouge, which is great. And then I'm going to proceed to go for Expanding Force. Expanding Force plus Helping Hand should be really strong here. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily... I'm not going to go for Terrestrial just yet. Well, yeah, I'm not going to go for Terrestrial just yet. We're going to go for Helping Hand, though. I think this should do some really good damage from nothing else. Even if Meowscarada comes in hard, that's fine. But basically, the goal is just to take out at least Arcanine. I think that would be a really strong option here. Their Hyper Voice goes off. It doesn't really do much damage. Our Expanding Force is going to go off meanwhile, and this should at least OHKO Arcanine. Yep, Arcanine is gone. Okay, that's good for us. Clearing Arcanine, that's their Intimidator gone. It's a decent priority option outside of Psychic Terrain gone. Their Sylveon is also fairly weak too, which is great for me because they don't have a slower mon outside of this. They disconnected. Okay, so that's great game 1 at the very least. Let's move on to game 2. Okay, so for game number 2, we're taking on a pretty cool team actually. They're running both Bisharp and Kingambit. They have Hatterene, Indeedee, Kingambit, Bisharp, Armarouge, and Torkoal. Okay, so this game just screams Hariyama. As far as my lead goes, I think that specifically, it's in my best interest to lead off with Torkoal Lilligant. I should be able to get up a really strong eruption on anything that's not... Yeah, anything that's not specifically the... Well, that depends. If one of the Dark types lead, I'm just going to go for Heat Wave, but otherwise I'm going to go for Eruption here. As far as my last one goes, I'm definitely going to go Armarouge. I think it dents their team pretty well. And I think I'm going to go with Hariyama, because I do anticipate they're going to go for Trick Room, because they kind of have... Well, they don't really have to, but even still, I can just go for Hariyama and get off some really nice damage against their Dark types, which should be good. The dark types also fold to Torkoal, which is pretty nice. Their whole team actually has such a Torkoal issue. It's a really funny team. I like the team concept a lot, but it folds to Torkoal. So we're gonna see what they lead off with. They're gonna lead off with Armarouge and Indeedee. Okay, this is fine. I'm gonna proceed to go for Sleep Powder plus Protect. I think it's always my best play at this point until either our Focus Sash is broken or until just proven otherwise, I guess. If they go for a Trick Room, that's fine. I don't mind Trick Room because I'll just go for Eruption at that point. But we're going to go for Sleep Powder on the Armarouge. If they follow me with Indeedee as well, that also works for me. Considering my goal is just to put one of these Pokemon to sleep, I would just highly prefer for it to be the damaging one. Since the high damage one will be a lot more scary for the long term. Also, because I don't mind Indeedee not being put to sleep in all honesty. I more so care about it just having to take hits. So they're going to go for Follow Me here. That's good for me. And then I'm going to go for the Sleep Powder again next turn. And I'm going to put to sleep the Armarouge while I go for Eruption. Because I just need to get off some really good damage. And then on the following turn, I'll probably go for After You and Eruption just to make sure I'm getting off as much as possible on the Indeedee, which should take it out. They're going to proceed to go for Expanding Force here, which should bring my Lilligant down to Sash. It doesn't, actually. I'm kind of shocked by this, I can't lie. But we're going to go for Eruption here regardless. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for another Sleep Powder here on the Armarouge because I don't want it to keep clicking Expanding Force, and that's really my end goal here. We are going to hit the second one, which is great. Thankfully, they did not go for Terrestrial Grass, which works out really well for me. Meanwhile, my Torkoal is going to get off an amazing Eruption at this point. Meanwhile, on the following turn, I just go for After You and just take out Indeedee at the very least. Armarouge still is going to boost itself with Flash Fire, but it's only for fire type attacks, which I'll take that. This thing thankfully doesn't have priority, which also works out in my favor pretty well. So I just need to take out Indeedee. Indeedee getting taken out is a huge game changer for me already. If they try and switch around this, it's fine. Their only actual switching, quote unquote, is Torkoal, which is still going to take a ton from Eruption. So yeah, we'll go for After You, and we're going to go for After You on Torkoal. This should allow Torkoal to take out Indeedee guaranteed, unless this is like a Terrestrial Water Indeedee, which if they're going to burn Terrestrial Water on Indeedee just to keep it alive, that's also pretty good for me in all honesty. So Indeedee is going to officially be taken out here. That's one less Pokemon we need to worry about. They have Armarouge still, which will still be able to get off really strong armor cannons, but I'm not too concerned with this. I have other outs to this Pokemon in the back anyway, so I just kind of need to hope that Torkoal gets left alive, which to be fair, they might just leave Torkoal alive. They're going to go for Expanding Force here. Okay, so this didn't take out Indeedee. I know, Lilligant last time. I didn't think it would take out Torkoal, which proves to be right. Okay. We're going to go into... I'm going to go into... I think I want to go into my own Armarouge here. Looking at their team, their whole team actually should be pretty pressured by this, because even if they go into one of the dark types, they would basically need to be going into some sort of fast, not minus speed Bisharp on a Trick Room team. Kingambit, okay, beautiful. So this mon would actually need speed investment to outpace my Armarouge here, which is good for me. We'll go for Heat Wave here. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go for the Armor Cannon on the Kingambit. Goal here is basically just to take this mon out as quickly as possible. They're gonna withdraw, that's fine. What are they bringing in? Because whatever they bring in should take a ton of damage from this. Torkoal, okay. So I think their Torkoal just gets completely taken out as well, which also works out for me. I'll lose my Torkoal in the process, but I'm not too concerned with this. Actually, no, right, because they're going to definitely Expanding Force here, and that's going to take out my Torkoal for sure. Oh, wait, no, because they're going for Trick Room. Okay, so they're losing their Torkoal, which is really strong for me at least. And I have Hariyama still in the back, actually, which I'm going to keep Terrestrial on because it's going to be really good for both the Armarouge as well as the Kingambit matchups. So that's really decent for me. They're going to still have Psychic Train up, which should work in my favor, actually, because this means that I now get a free hit off with Torkoal. They're going to need to either... They're actually going to guarantee let me get off a Heat Wave here, which is amazing. If they go for Wide Guard on their Armarouge, I don't care a ton. We're going to proceed to go for Heat Wave, though, and then I'm going to go for the Expanding Force into Armarouge just to get some damage off, because I don't care. They can't Sucker Punch me, obviously, unless if I click Terrestrial Flying for some reason, which I have no Terrestrial Flying on here, which makes a lot of sense for the team comp we're running, that we're not burning through Terrestrial Flying and taking priority hits now. They're going to proceed to Terrestrial. It's probably Kingambit. No, it's actually Armarouge. Okay. That's fine. They're going to be Terrestrial Psychic, which works out decent for us, actually, because we're Terrestrial Dark on Hariyama. So we should be able to get off a really strong knockoff on that Pokemon. Heat Wave's going to go off. I just need to hit the Kingambit here. I just need to hit the Kingambit here. Are you fucking kidding? Are you fucking kidding? That's so bad for us. That might be game. That might be game. Okay. So basically, what I need to do here, I need to Massacre Kingambit like this turn with Hariyama. That's what I need to do. Because we missed the Heat Wave, I need Kingambit to go this turn. Harsh Sunlight faded, that's fine. The Weirdest disappeared. That's really bad for us. We'll manage though. Okay. So we're gonna go for the Terrestrial Dark, just so that we don't die to Armarouge at this point. And we're gonna go for Close Combat on Kingambit. If they go for some sort of Armor Cannon here, I think that might just be game anyway. But I just need to hope they don't have it. That's really the moral of this, is I need to hope they don't have it, and I need to hope on top of that they don't click Sucker Punch on Kingambit. Which maybe they don't, I guess. I don't know. Iron Head's gonna go off. Okay. We've lost. We've lost if they clicked Armor Cannon. If they didn't click Armor Cannon, that's fine, then we win the game. But if they clicked Armor Cannon, then we lost. Are you fucking kidding? It all came down to not hitting that fucking Heat Wave. At least I'm pretty sure it did. I can't imagine that Torkoal wouldn't have KO'd there with the Sun Boost plus also Expanding Force. Okay, so this is good for us. This is really good for us, actually. Because now we're going to get our Guts Boost on top of this. We have too many turns of Trick Room left to still outpace this Mon. And Knockoff should go off, and that should take out Armarouge. I just need the Knockoff to go off here. I need the Knockoff to go off here first on the Armarouge, and we win the game. I just need to win the game. Come on, game. Hell yeah. Okay. I will certainly take this. I will certainly take this after the Heat Wave miss. Beautiful. Oh my god. I got bailed. They had no reason to click Expanding Force there. Armor Cannon guaranteed the KO. And it got around any bullshit that I could have clicked. But I'll take the fact that they did that anyway. We're 2-0 for the day, though, for this set. And we're like 5-6 for the whole day of recordings. So I'll take that. We might unironically be able to get into Ultra Ball with this, which is amazing. I'll take that after all the recording shenanigans that have happened today. I will take a Ultra Ball ranking at least if we can manage to get it. So with that said, I'll see you guys in the final battle for the day, win or lose. Peace out, guys. Okay, so moving on to our final game of the day, we're taking on Talonflame, Garchomp, we're taking on Quaquaval, we're taking on Goldango, Amoonguss, and Grimmsnarl. So I'll take this. As the last match of the day, this is a little bit rough for at least Armarouge and Indeedee, but you know what it's not rough for? I think Lilligant is a pretty decent matchup here, actually. Lilycole as a lead feels like it's going to be really good. Albeit, there is still some concern. For example, we do have to worry about potential... Does that mean that we maybe go for Trick Room? I think that Trick Room lead actually could be decent. Specifically, I think that my issues would be Grimmsnarl if it has a Dark move. But otherwise, I think it's good. And this should get around the potential for their Tailwind lead with Garchomp, which would do a lot of damage to me. I'm going to bring Torkoal in the back, and I think I'm going to bring Hariyama in the back. And I think that's probably my best case, because I want Hariyama with Terrestrial Dark again, most likely. I don't know. I think there's a lot of options I could go with this matchup, truthfully. And I feel like that leading off Armarouge and Indeedee is probably my safest here. So we're going to have to go with that. Good luck, have fun to my opponent, and we'll see what happens here. I have faith that we'll at least do fine, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Let's see. So what is my opponent going to lead off with? They're going to proceed to lead off with Talonflame Garchomp. Okay, so they did lead off with the Tailwind route. I'm really glad I led off with the Trick Room route, because we're going to block Priority Brave Bird, which is amazing. That means I can get a guaranteed Terrestrial Grass on this Pokemon off. And on top of that as well, I also get a pretty free Trick Room now, which should work out really well. Because all they can really do is go for Tailwind on Talonflame or Flare Blitz, which if they're going to go for Flare Blitz, that's fine. We'll also be taking less from Rock Slide at this point because of this. So we're going to go for Follow Me plus Tailwind. And they don't have a Dark type outside of Grim, which if they go into Grim, I'm not too concerned with that. Because once we get Trick Room up, I should be fine to just damage their team as a whole. They're probably, if I had to guess, going to go for Tailwind plus Rock Slide this turn. It feels way too obvious for Garchomp. It's what all these Tailwind Garchomp teams do. They always go for Tailwind Rock Slide in turn 1 against this lead. Because, I mean, for what it's worth, it's a decent lead that they have in their pocket. But it's what they always do nonetheless. But Rock Slide, and Follow Me is just in case they go for like a Tantrum or something, or like a Dragon Claw. I don't want them getting off more damage than they deserve. Flare Blitz goes off, that's fine. They're doing no damage to Indeedee because it's a fucking Talonflame, and they don't do damage ever. And meanwhile, Garchomp's gonna go for Earthquake here. That's fine. We achieve this hit very well with Armarouge, and Indeedee should take this as well. I want to say it's gonna, yeah, it's gonna have like 30. It's been skipping the damage every single time in Indeedee and just going to the cut to the bar, but it's been doing around like 60 to 70, so I figured I would take that despite the delayed animation. We'll go for Expanding Force here, and I'm gonna go for the Helping Hand. I want to just boost Armarouge as much as possible. If they go into Grim, that's fine. I still feel like one of these Pokemon die, and they only have one actual Psychic Switch in here. So we'll certainly take this. They're going to probably have to go for Protect, which they don't do, which means that Talon is definitely gone, and Garchomp is also gone, which I'll take both of those. Their last two, I feel like that Grim is probably one of those last two Mons. I can't imagine that Grim didn't come. If I had to guess, it's Grim Goldengo as their last slots, which means I'm just going to click Armor Cannon plus I'm probably going to go for Follow Me, just in case that Grim is like Foul Play or something. I don't really want it to get off more damage than it should. They're going to go into Amoonguss, actually. Amoonguss is Mon number 1. And Quaquaval. Okay. So this is like the exact opposite of what I thought would come, but you know what? I'll fucking take it. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for another Expanding Force here. And I'm going to go for a Follow Me to redirect the Spore. Well, I don't even need to redirect the Spore, but I also want to, if nothing else, this is still good for a few different reasons. Quaquaval could potentially end up going for something like an Ice Spinner here. Or more importantly, Amoonguss can maybe go for Terra Fire or like just a Sludge Bomb even, which I don't, those aren't really likely options, but I still feel like there's no reason not to click this. They would basically need to have like a Terra Dark Mon to actually take this hit, which I guess Amoonguss might have Terra Dark. But again, it's one of those things that feels so unlikely that I don't even think it's worth considering, like actively considering. Pollen Puff. Okay, so they're going to kill my Indeedee. That's perfect. I'll take this because it was, again, a good way they could have damaged Armarouge. Meanwhile, their Indeedee, their Amoonguss here should be taken out completely by this hit, despite the fact that we're going for a spread move. Amoonguss should be taken out between the Terrain Boost and just Armarouge's general special attack here. So, beautiful. Absolute Massacre. We just have the Gayduck left, which I know this Mon better than anyone in this format. We're going for Hariyama here, and I'm just going to go for a Close Combat plus, I might just go for Close Combat plus Armor Cannon because it's funny, I'll be honest. I think it'd be really funny ending off with Armor Cannon, so I'm going to do it. Yeah, we're going to go for Close Combat as well. Actually, I'm going to go for Detect, just as a safety net. I can get up, I can force a 2v2 later on, even if it didn't really matter, but I could have also popped Guts more importantly, which would have been good for the damage output here. But good games. We're 3-0 for this set, 6-6 for the day. The team is fairly inconsistent, but I think a lot of the inconsistencies fall on how I was playing it. I think I stand by the team in all honesty at this point after having done 12 games with it on Battle Spot, and it managed to carry us into Ultra Ball, which, you know what? I'll take that. I'm really annoyed, I will say. I'm very annoyed that I couldn't show all the games. There was a lot of really good ones, both wins and losses, that I didn't get to show. A lot of really cool teams, just due to fucking OBS issues that came from just having to reset everything up from last night when I was trying to stream a queue. But you know what? I'll take it. At the end of the day, these 3 games I feel like were really good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed them. Let me know what you want to see next down below. We are very close to Ultra Ball. So whatever team I end up using on Thursday might be the team that carries us to Ultra Ball. So choose very carefully. If you guys enjoyed though, leave a like and subscribe. Shout out to channel members, of course, being Josh, aka Ultra Player, Mia, Zeke Zero, Matt O'Shea, and Nox Nocturnal. Your support is greatly appreciated. Channel members, bonus content is tomorrow. So if you wanted to become a channel member, make sure you click on the link down below to join for a couple $1 a month. And on top of that as well, we're also going to be having Twitter and Discord link down below, both of which are great ways to stay updated on content. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, peace out, guys.